Okay guys, I have updated my Android Studio to the latest version, the version 3.6. As you can see, its look has been changed. It's a little bit more cooler, I believe, than the previous version. And here, when I try to open the Android Studio, it is showing me this option. It says if you wanna import the settings from the previous version or not. So I can simply say yes, previous version, which was Android Studio 3.5. I'm just gonna click on OK. As you can see, the look of Android Studio is changed, and it says the directories below contain configuration and system files for unused version of Android Studio. Check the box next to each directory you want to safely delete. So because I'm not going to use these versions anymore, I'm just going to select all of these options and click on delete directories, because now I'm just going to deal with the newest version of Android Studio from now on. This is version 3.6.1. Let's go ahead and take a look at these options. So as before, the first option is to create a new Android Studio project. The second one is to open an existing Android Studio project. And we can also check out project from version control and all of these other options. If you click on configure, you can see that we can access AVD manager, Android virtual device manager, SDK manager, software development kit manager, preferences, plugins, and all of this stuff. So let's go ahead and so let me give you a tip a trick that I use in order to update my Android Studio. And most of the times when I open my Android Studio, I always go to configure and then go to check for updates. Okay, so let's create a new Android Studio project and see what is different here. So as before, we are required to select a template. It doesn't matter what template you choose, but I always prefer the empty activity, this empty template. So if you are developing applications for other devices such as Wear OS, TV, automotive, Android things, you can choose them. So I'm just going to go and select phone and tablet, empty activity, next. So here, just give your application a name. So I'm going to say new app 2020, and here make sure that you have a unique package name for your app. So in order to have a unique package name, you simply need to use your domain name for your website in a reversed manner. Okay, if you don't have a website, you can simply use your own name. So mine is com.morteza, that's new app. And you can also add some more identifiers in order to make it more unique. The save location path, as you can see, and the language is Java. So the minimum SDK that I'm using here is API 16. So just click on finish. Now let's see what is different here. Again, as before, it is configuring the project and loading the project for me. So at the bottom, it is asking me a question. Would you like to install a shell script formatter? So no, I'm just gonna say no thanks. So here Android Studio is showing me a new guide of the newest version of Android Studio. It says that we've got some changes in the design tools, as you can see here. So we can take a look at these guides and see how different this version is from the previous version. But one of the students of the course asked me a question about the design tab, which has been disappeared from the layout. So first, you have to wait. You have to wait until the application is configured completely. In order to know about that, at the bottom you can see that it says Gradle. Gradle is a software to build software. That's the definition of Gradle. It is building our program, so you have to wait. You have to wait until this process is finished. Make sure that you have a reliable internet connection, otherwise it will not work. So just wait and let's see what will happen next. So here it says we've got IDE and plugin updates. So take a look at these messages. Android emulator is updated. The following plugin is ready to update Firebase services. So here it says that there are some new updates for these components, the Android emulator and the Firebase services. So I suggest that you always update your Android development tools to the latest version, because of maybe there are some bugs in the current versions, maybe there are some new improvements. So it's always better to update your resources, your tools, and whatever you have, whatever you are working with in order to develop applications. So you can simply click on update here in order to update these tools. So the next thing that I'm going to talk about here is this activity underline main.xml here. As you can see, because of this Gradle, it is loading. So sometimes when you are developing applications, your Android Studio may get confused a little bit, okay? In those cases, don't panic. There are some tools that will help you to let the Android Studio to come to itself, to become ready, okay? So for example, here at the top menu, you can go to build, and there is an option called rebuild project. This is a good option if you wanna somehow reset your project to, maybe there are some libraries that your Android project doesn't recognize. Maybe your layout is not behaving the way it should be behaving. So you can just rebuild the project in order to solve this problem. If this doesn't help, you can go to File and then go to Invalidate Caches or Restart. Okay, so this option is for the extreme situations when the Android Studio is freezed, or it's not working, or there are some problems that you don't know what the solutions are. You can simply go to File, Invalidate Caches or Restart. Your project will be restarted and you will be able to work with it. And on the left side, make sure that this view here is always Android. We also have project, packages, project files, and all the other options. Here, make sure that it is always Android as you're developing Android applications. So, okay, my Android Studio is ready. So I'm gonna collapse this assistant area by just clicking on this item here at the right side here. Take a look at this sidebar, this assistant and the Gradle that I have here. I can just simply click on them in order to make them collapsed. Then we have this attribute section. So this is for the activity underline main.xml. So I'm just gonna close these tabs so that you can see how you can access them. First, in order to access the main activity class, as before, you just need to go app, Java, your package, and the file. For your XML file, res, layout, activity underline main.xml, I'm just gonna double tap or double click on this tab here in order to make this area wider. As before, we have the constraint layout as the root layout. Then again, if you select an item here, because this area, this layout area is a context sensitive, when you select an item, its attributes will appear here at the right side. So sometimes this area is hidden. You can just click on attributes and it will open. So this is as before. There are some new changes here, but you can see that the palette section is the same as before. You can simply select an item here, and or you can just search for an item if you want in order to select it. If you cannot find an item here, you can go to the text tab where you enter XML codes. So where is the text tab? There is no text tab here. There should be an option here at the bottom so I can transition to the text tab. So I can enter XML codes. How can I do that? Well, at the top right side here, you can see that we have some options here, right? The first one is design. The one here at the middle is split. The one at the left is code. So the design is what you are seeing here. Let's click on the split and see what's going on. Okay, now we've got the code at the left and the design at the right. Nice. Let's click on the code. So now I can only see the code. Okay, so this is a new change that has been added to the newest version of Android Studio. Okay, there are always new changes, don't worry. You can always find the solutions to these changes, and it's not a big deal. Okay, so now you can see there is no text tab at the bottom here anymore. Okay, in order to access the XML code, we have some new options here at the top right here above the attributes section. We have the design, we have the split, and we have the code. So if you want to access the code, you can simply click on code. If you want to have the design and the code, you can click on split. If you just want to have the design, you can see it here. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about these new changes or Android development in general, please post a discussion in the course and I will be there to answer your questions as soon as possible. Thank you very much for watching, and I want you to create your own Android applications and become successful. So make sure to watch these tutorials step by step and learn new things and develop apps, and always smile, and I want to see you at the top. Thanks.